You're cleaning up some text in Python. You call split, pass a space, and expect to get back a list of words. Simple, right? But instead of 2 clean words, you get 4 items, and 2 of them are empty strings. You did not put empty strings. So where did they come from? Now you remove the space from the brackets, just that one character, and suddenly it works. Same string, same method, just one argument difference. And the output is completely different. This is one of the most common Python bugs that nobody warns you about. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what is happening, and you will never be caught off guard by it again. Before we get into the why, let us make sure we know what split actually does. Split takes a string and breaks it into a list of smaller strings. So you give it hello world, one single string, and it gives you back a list. Hello and world as 2 separate items. 3 things to remember. First, split always returns a list, even if the result has only 1 item in it. Second, you choose what to split on by passing a delimiter, that is the character you want Python to cut on. Third, that one argument, the delimiter, is exactly what this whole video is about. Now, let's look at the full syntax so we know what we are working with. There are 2 parameters in syntax. The first is separator. This is the character you want Python to split on. You can pass any string, a comma, a forward slash, a newline character, a double colon, anything. The default value is none, which activates a smart whitespace mode. In this mode, any whitespace counts as a separator. Spaces, tabs, newlines, all of it. Several spaces in a row are treated as one single separator. They do not produce empty strings. Leading or trailing spaces are completely ignored, and the result will never contain empty strings ever. The second is maxsplit. This limits how many times Python splits the string. The default is -1, which means no limit. Split as many times as possible. You would use this when you only need the first few pieces. So now we know what happens when you pass no argument. Let us look at what happens when you do pass an argument, specifically a space. Here is the input string, hello world, with 3 spaces between the words. When you call split with a space in the brackets, Python walks through the string character by character. Every single time it finds a space, it divides there. The first space is at index 5. Python splits there. Everything before it goes into the list as item 0. The second space is at index 6. Python splits again. But what sits between split 1 and split 2? Nothing. There are no characters there. So an empty string goes into the list as item 1. The third space is at index 7. Another split. Again, nothing between them. Another empty string, item 2. Then Python reaches the end of the string and collects world as item 3. So total 4 items in output. The rule is simple. Split with a space in the brackets never skips or collapses spaces. Every single space, no matter how many in a row, produces its own separate division. Now it all makes sense. Split with a space, 3 spaces, 3 divisions, 2 empty strings. Split with no argument, 3 spaces collapse into 1, no empties. Only the argument changed. That is it. This bug shows up more often than you think. Let us look at where it catches people in real code. Let us look at 3 cases. First, an empty string. When you call split with a space on an empty string, Python scans it looking for a space. It finds none. But split with an argument always returns at least 1 piece, the whole string, even if it is empty. So the result is a list with 1 empty string inside it. That is not the same as an empty list. When you call split with no argument on the same empty string, Smart Mode looks for words. It finds none. Smart Mode only returns actual words, so the result is a completely empty list. Same input, very different outputs. Second, a tab character. When you call split with a space, Python scans the entire string and finds no space. It never divides. The whole string comes back as 1 item, tab character still inside it. When you call split with no argument, Python recognizes the tab as whitespace, splits on it, and gives you hello and world cleanly. Third, a new line. Same story. Split with a space finds no space, never divides, returns the whole string as one item, with the new line still inside it. Split with no argument treats the new line as whitespace, splits on it, and gives you hello and world. The rule is simple. If your data might contain spaces, tabs, or new lines, always use split with no argument. It handles all of them. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you found this lesson helpful and easy to understand. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more beginner-friendly programming tutorials and helpful tips. Feel free to comment your questions or thoughts below. I love hearing from you, and I try to respond to every comment. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload new videos. See you in the next lesson.